of writing, you have to do the following. First, state the topic, which is the title. Then, select different statements the writer provides with examples that supports it. And finally, you get the main idea, based on all the information you collected within the paragraph. Here, you can see the topic built up into 6 different sections, and then the main idea. In order to get the main idea of the following paragraph, we must follow the steps. So we know the title or the topic, which is the Mongols and the Chinese. Next, we read it and separate different statements along with the facts that support it. So, the Mongols and the Chinese. The Mongol rulers have little in common with their Chinese subjects. Because of their differences, the Mongols kept their separate identity. Mongols live apart from the Chinese and obey different laws. They kept the Chinese out of the high government offices, although they retained as many Chinese officials as possible to serve on the local level. Most of the highest government posts went to the Mongols or to foreigners. The Mongols believed that foreigners were more trustworthy since they had no local loyalties. Despite his differences with the Chinese, Kublai Khan was an able leader. He restored the Grand Canal and extended it 135 miles north to Beijing. Along its banks, he built a paved highway that ran some 1,100 miles from Hansu to Beijing. These land and water routes ensured the north a steady supply of grain and other goods from the southern part. Next, we read it and separate the statements. Statements that we gathered within the paragraph. First, the Mongol rulers had little in common with their Chinese subjects. The Mongols kept their separate identity. Next, the Mongols live apart from the Chinese and obeyed different laws. They kept the Chinese out of the high government offices, although they retained as many Chinese officials as possible to serve on the local level. As you notice, the facts, most of them have or should have examples afterwards in order to support other facts. So now we have, despite his differences with the Chinese, Kublai Khan was an able leader. He restored the Grand Canal and extended it 135 miles from north to Beijing. So here's the fact, supported by an example of what he did. Kublai Khan built a paved highway that ran some 1,100 miles from Sansu to Beijing. These land and water routes ensured the north a steady supply of grain and other goods from the southern heartland. So we have a fact that he built the paved highway, and here is why what it did to the population. So within this 4 statements, we gather the main idea, which is next. The Chinese obey different laws. Kublai Khan did many constructions to contribute. And this is the process to get the main idea on any piece of writing. It's really easy, and you can do it with anything that makes sense.